We'll start today by finding a comfortable seat on the mat. Our class today is going to be focused on feelings of being grounded, stable, and focused. We're in a time right now where many people feel a little chaotic. We don't really know what's going on all the time. We're social distancing. It's just a strange time. So it can help us if we learn to stay grounded amidst the chaos. So let's start with feeling grounded in our seat. Make sure to pull the flesh away from those sit bones so that you can really feel the sit bones against the mat. Draw the navel in towards the spine and allow the crown of the head to reach towards the sky. Bring the shoulder blades together and down the back, and we're going to place the hands on the thighs, palms down today. Go ahead and close your eyes and just start to watch the breath, allowing it to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Tune out any distractions like noises in your home or thoughts running through your head. And try to maintain awareness of the breath. Inhale and exhale are equal. So when we talk about setting a solid foundation for a yoga class, talking about the house foundation is a really great way to think about it. If you build a home on a faulty or unstable foundation, the whole home is unstable. And the same goes for your yoga practice. If we're not grounded through whatever part of us is on the ground, the entire pose is unstable. And frankly, it can be dangerous. Just like if a home is unstable, it can be dangerous. Now, we can feel grounded through different things. In yoga, we talk about the different seasons, and typically winter is a time of not feeling grounded. So we might look for grounding foods, things like that. But we're in a special circumstance right now, and so a lot of us sort of feel like we're not grounded. We're kind of, I don't know the words I'm looking for. Having trouble finding those words lately. I don't know why. But it can feel that things are just sort of flying out of control when you're not grounded. So the things that can bring us that sense of feeling grounded, stable, secure could be different for everyone. So that's something that you need to figure out for yourself. What do you need to do in your own life to feel grounded, to feel rooted? One of the things that I do, and it just happened naturally, when I'm going about my normal days, I always come back to home base in the middle of the day and sort of reset. And I think that really helps me to feel grounded instead of being out all day and coming home after. That's just me, though. When we talk about the chakras, we can talk about the root chakra and feel ourselves, even just now, firmly rooted to our mat. The color red is associated with the root chakra. So sometimes you'll see people who wear red shoes, and it helps them to feel grounded. So I don't know about this drone. This is some unofficial footage that they're taking. That doesn't make me feel grounded, having that thing flying overhead. So just think for a moment the things that make you feel grounded. Sometimes we like to have a little phone conversation with the same person every day, just checking in, making sure we're all okay. Maybe you like to sit and read. Some of us like to do a lot of prep because then we feel more in control. So just think about some things that can help you in your daily life feel grounded. And now we'll bring the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. We'll breathe together 3 times, and on the 3rd exhale, we'll share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Inhale, and exhale. And for the 3rd time together, inhale. Bow your head. Place the hands on the thighs. Softly open your eyes, looking forward. We're going to begin today sitting in Dandasana, staff pose. So we'll extend the legs out nice and long and reach through the heels, but remember that we want the heels to remain on the ground. You can adjust the sit bones as needed and just place your hands by your side. So for many of us, the part of us that's on the ground most of the time is our feet. So we're going to start today by giving our feet a little love. So just cross your left ankle over the right thigh, and we're just going to start massaging the bottoms of the feet. So just starting with the heel, moving up to the arch of the foot, the ball of the foot. You can massage each toe. And then work your way back down. Good. Extend that left leg long, and now we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Starting at the bottom of the foot, working our way up to the arch of the foot, the ball of the foot, massaging each toe, and then working our way back down. Good. Extend that right leg long to meet the left. Bring your arms by your sides. As you inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, arms come down. So you want to make sure that your spine is nice and tall here. You're moving with your breath at your own pace. Thanks, Dolly, come here. Now, if it's not possible for you to raise your arms all the way up, just raise them as high as you can without feeling pain. And if you can't raise them without feeling pain, then you can just rest the arms and focus on that balanced breath. The next time the arms are up overhead, allow the palms to come together to touch. As you exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So we're going to come to Sukhasana, easy pose. Again, we will readjust the sit bones so that we feel rooted. Bring the navel in towards the spine, crown of the head reaches tall, and placing the hands on the thighs, palms down. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to turn the head to look towards the left. As you inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, begin to turn the head to look towards the right. Inhale, back to center. And continue moving with your breath, just turning that head gently from side to side. I think one of the biggest things that helps me to feel grounded is preparation. Getting everything ready the night before so that I can wake up and not be frantic. Doesn't mean I always do it, but it's definitely something that helps me. So the next time the head comes back to center, pause there. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, lower your left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, right ear towards right shoulder. Inhale, back up, and then just continue moving with your breath. Just tipping that head from one side to the other. The next time your head comes back up, you can pause there. Take your left hand behind the left hip, right hand to the top of the left knee. Root down through those sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to twist to the left, and you'll start with the belly. Move up to the ribs, the shoulders, the chest. If it's okay for the neck, the head can turn. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, create length in the spine. As you exhale, slowly come back to center, starting with the head and working your way down to the belly. Hands come to the thighs. Take the right hand behind the right hip. Left hand comes to the top of the right knee. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to twist to the right, starting at the belly, working your way up to the neck. Breathing here. Press down through your sit bones. Inhale, create length in the spine. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Place your hands on the knees. Come here, Dolly. Close your eyes. Watch the breath flow in through the nose. Or you stink, and out through the nose. Let's come to all fours, hands and knees. Isaac, make sure his shirt comes off before he goes inside. When we're on all fours, those knees are just hip width apart. They are slightly behind the hips. Hands are shoulder width apart, slightly forward of the shoulders. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose. So really feel the fingertips and the perimeter of the palm against the earth, as well as your knees and your shins and the tops of the feet. So your foundation, the fingertips, the perimeter of the palms, knees, shins, and feet, don't move when you're coming in and out of child's pose. So sometimes I'll see students when they shift back, they'll slide their hands down the mat, and then when they shift forward, they slide those hands forward. So we want to keep our foundation rooted here and just hinge at the hips and the knees. Oh, man. My little guy Dolly here has found something to roll in over in the corner. So that's fun. He's sleepy. The next time you bring yourself to all fours, pause there. We'll begin to move into downward facing dog. So from all fours, you'll just curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Those toes are firmly rooted to the earth, as are the hands. Lift the knees just a bit as you press back through the heels, coming to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe here. And then start to bend the knees. Go back down into child's pose. Inhale up. All fours, you'll do it again. So fingertips and perimeter of the palms firmly rooted. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back. So we want to make sure to create length in the spine. Bend both of your knees, keep them bent. Shift the hips to the back of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Then lower the heels to the mat, but don't shift the body forward again. It's fine to keep a bend in the knee here. Focus on the breath. From here, sweep that right leg out behind you. And then you'll step the right foot forward between the hands, or you can physically pick the foot up and move it. We'll root down through the sole of the left foot, toes point out slightly. On the inhale, arms sweep up for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. A more gentle version of this pose is to bring the hands to the hips. Either is fine. So in Warrior One, we're rooting down through the sole of the right foot, the sole of the left foot. Sometimes that back foot will curl up. So we want to make sure that we're rooting down through the outer edge of the back foot. If the arms are up, they're strong and active. Focus on your breath, gazing out over your battlefield. As you inhale, straighten the right leg. And then as you exhale, hinge forward over the right leg. Hands can come to the mat or to your blocks if you have them. We'll come up on the ball of that left foot and step back to downward facing dog, rooting down through the balls of the feet, the fingertips, and the perimeter of the palms. Sweep the left leg out behind you. Step it forward or pick it up and place it between the hands. Root down through the sole of that right foot, toes point out slightly. On the inhale, arms sweep up. Bring the awareness to the soles of the feet. Make sure you feel rooted, secure. As you inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, hinge forward. Relax the head and neck. Come up on the ball of that right foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. So here, if you can reach the floor, you can touch the floor. You could also place blocks under your hands, or if you need to, you can rest your hands on your legs. Perfectly fine to bend your knees in this pose. Allow the head to just relax. Watch the breath flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Notice how the earth beneath you is sturdy and stable. Often we hold on to a lot of tension, but we're standing on this sturdy floor so we can let go. It will support us. Place your hands on your hips. Press down through the feet. Use the core to bring yourself up. So we'll stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are femur width apart and they are parallel to each other. We want to make sure we're rooting down through the four corners of the feet. So that's the pad of the big and little toe, and then the inner and outer heel. So to really feel those points, you can lift the toes and you feel the points against the mat. When you do that, notice you also engage your leg muscles. So I want you to keep the engagement and the feeling of rooting down through the four corners of the feet and just relax the toes. Your hips are stacked on the knees stacked on ankles. Pelvis is in neutral. So if you have a forward tilting pelvis, just draw that tailbone towards the heels, navel towards the spine. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky, shoulder blades together and down the back. As you inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Fingertips come down to the ground, even if you have to bend those knees. As you inhale, bring yourself halfway up. Let the hands slide up the shins. Crown of the head reaches to the space in front of you. Feet press into the floor. As you exhale, fold forward. Press down through the feet. Let the arms start to lift. Once the arms are in line with those ears, use the core, bring yourself up. As you exhale, hands come to your heart. Inhale, arms sweep up. This time, as you exhale, bend the knees as if you're sitting on the edge of a chair. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, slide the hips back in your chair. So notice that when I do this, my pelvis tips forward again. So if you have that forward tilting pelvis, just gently tuck the tailbone, and that will help you to lengthen the lower back. This is Utkatasana chair pose, also called fierce pose. Breathe here. Press down through the feet, bring yourself up, and as you exhale, lower your arms. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips, fingertips down to the ground. On the inhale, bring yourself up halfway. Crown of the head reaches to the space in front of you. Feet press into the floor. As you exhale, fold forward. Press down through the feet. Arms start to lift when they're in line with the ears. Use the core again. Bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend those knees, sit on the edge of your chair. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slide those hips back in your chair. Root down through the four corners of the feet. Again, more gentle option, hands come to the hips. Press down through the feet, bring yourself up. Exhale, lower the arms. We'll do that one more time. From Tadasana, mountain pose. As you inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from those hips. As you inhale, bring yourself up halfway. As you exhale, fold forward. Press down through the feet. Arms start to lift. Once they're in line with the ears, use the core, come all the way up. Exhale, hand to heart. Root down through those feet. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, bend the knees. Sit on the edge of your chair. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, slide those hips back. Breathe. Press through the feet, bring yourself up. Lower your arms, coming back to Tadasana, mountain pose. From mountain pose, we'll take our feet out to a wide leg stance. The outer edges of the feet are parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Now, when we stand with this wide leg stance, sometimes your ankles may roll out, not so grounded. For some of us, they may collapse in. So again, think of the four corners of the feet and see if you can root down equally through them. Navel to the spine, tailbone to the ground, crown of the head towards the sky, shoulder blades together and down the back. As you inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. This is another pose. It's perfectly fine to bend those knees to get the hands down to the ground. And we want to get the hands down to the ground to give us that sense of being grounded, feeling the sturdy earth beneath you. Place the hands on the hips. Press down through the feet to bring yourself up. You can come back to Tadasana, and then we'll come to lay down on our bellies. So go ahead and take your time, come to lay down on your belly. You can cross the forearms in front of you, rest your forehead. Bend your knees and just let the legs sway from side to side. So each category of yoga pose has an energetic component or energetic effect. Forward folds, which we've done a lot of, are considered grounding, relaxing, cooling. Back bends are considered heating and energizing. But when we do back bends on the belly, they're more grounding. So just cross the forearms in front of you, rest your forehead, and we're going to do Sphinx pose, starting with the legs. So don't worry about the upper body. Once in a while, you may get cramps in your feet in this pose. If that happens, just relax the legs and the feet. So to start, we'll actively point our toes to the space behind us. So that means we're pointing the toes and reaching them towards the space behind us. We'll create an inner spiral or an inner rotation of the thighs. So you're turning the thighs in towards each other subtly. When you do that, the sit bones come apart, and then we draw the tailbone towards the heels. So the toes are actively reaching to the space behind us, inner rotation of those thighs, tailbone towards the heels. Come up onto your forearms. The elbows are directly under the shoulders, and the wrists come right out from those elbows. Gaze forward. Your hands and forearms, elbows, belly, pelvis, thighs. For some of us, the shins touch, tops of the feet are all rooted to the earth. Your gaze is soft, your breath balanced. Release the legs. Slowly lower down, crossing the forearms in front of you, resting the forehead. This time, let's bring our arms by our sides, palms face the sky. Forehead to the mat. As you inhale, the head, chest, and arms simultaneously lift up off of the mat. As you exhale, they lower. You're moving with the breath. Inhale, head, chest, arms lift. Exhale, lower. Continue lifting and lowering on your own here. Try to resist the urge to look forward. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Lift and lower once more. When you finish, you can just lower down, cross the forearms in front of you, and rest the forehead. Feel free to bend the knees and rotate the ankles. Reverse the direction of your ankle rotation. Let the ankles become still. Lower the legs to the mat. Bring the arms by your sides. Palms face the ceiling. This time as you inhale, head, chest, arms, and legs simultaneously lift up off the mat. As you exhale, they lower. Inhale, head, chest, arms, legs lift. Exhale, lower. Lift and lower 3 more times, letting your breath guide you. When you finish, you can just come on down, cross the forearms in front of you, and rest your forehead. Roll over onto your back and hug the knees into the chest. So here our foundation changes because we're onto our back. So once the knees are hugged in, we're rocking side to side. Now we'll keep the knees hugged in and bring the arms out like a T, palms face the ceiling. We're going to move into a twist. In this twist, the shoulders will be the foundation. Take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to twist to the left. So you're tipping the legs over to the left. Left leg comes to the mat, right leg rests on top of it. Now, ideally, the foundation is rooted to the earth, but for some of us, that right shoulder is going to pop up. If that happens, just bend your right elbow and place your hand on your rib cage to protect the shoulder. And if you can keep both shoulders rooted, then feel the sensation against the mat. Slowly draw the knees back up. And as you exhale, begin to tip the legs over to the right. Shoulders rooted nicely to the earth. If that left shoulder is popping up, just bend the elbow, hand to the rib cage. Watch the breath. Start to draw the knees back up. You can hug the knees with the arms and rock gently from side to side. Keep the knees hugged in. Arms come out like a T, palms face the ceiling. Press the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling and rotate the ankles. So now our whole back, shoulders, back of the head, low back, rooted to the earth. Reverse the direction of your ankle rotation. And then just let the ankles become still. And we're just going to have our legs up in the air. If you're near a wall, please feel free to place the legs up against the wall. I originally wrote this class, it was in August of 2011, after the earthquake we had here in Maryland, because some of us felt very unstable after that. So in that class that I originally wrote, it calls for legs up the wall here, and I'm wallless right now. So if you have a wall, place those legs up against the wall. You just breathe. So if your legs are up against a wall, you can scooch away from the wall a bit, and then we'll all bend the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knees sway from side to side. Let the legs become still, and then let the soles of the feet come together as those knees open up out to the sides for Supta Baddha Konasana. Take the index fingers, link them together, and then bring the arms up overhead on the ground, making a figure 8. Feel the supportive floor beneath you. Release any tension that you may be holding on to. Relax the jaw. Let the eyes just rest. We're going to begin to transition into Shavasana. If you need to grab anything to be comfortable, please feel free to. Once you have what you need, you'll just lay on your mat with your legs extended out nice and long. Arms by your sides, palms face the ceiling. Now, if laying on your back is uncomfortable, please feel free to modify the pose. Perhaps you lay on your stomach or on your side. Laying on the back is traditional, but this is a yoga pose, so you can modify it. The arms should be a few inches away from the body. Palms face the sky. You can just allow your feet to flop open. Relax the jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Let the natural breath take over. Resist the urge to make subtle movements. Rest in Shavasana. slowly start to deepen your breath, becoming aware of the space around you, becoming aware of your body. You can start to make subtle movements that feel good, like wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. You can rotate through the wrists and the ankles and turn that head gently from side to side. And then stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up. Nice full body stretch, and roll to the right side in the fetal position. And we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping your eyes closed if you'd like. Use those arms to bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And then once you get there, you can bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Focusing on staying grounded through times of chaos. It's a practice. So I really do encourage you to just look at your own day. And are there times, or can you find patterns where you feel out of control? Then maybe you can think of ways to bring more control, more focus, more calm to those times of your day. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease and well-being. Namaste. Thank you so much.